Okay, yeah. So I left off at Dumat and Jandel. Like I said, no notes. I'm doing a spin around of the room real quick. Anyway, yeah, Dumat and Jandel. So like I say, it coincides with the other chapter as far as when they first began to apostatize. I'm talking about Uqadir, their chief, and then he went all the way to Al-Hira in northern Iraq. So when Khalid-Ibn-Al-Walid went to pursue him, he went to Al-Hira, and that's when he took over Dumat Al-Hira after he killed Uqadir, and then he had to go back to northwestern Arabia. But in that chapter, they mentioned he was coming back from Syria or something. He was coming back from Syria, or he was heading towards Syria, but he did, I should have called glycerin. Anyway, he did defeat the people there, put his brother in command, Al-Hurayth, and then that was that. So I think this time period coincides with that time period, which also means, like I said, that it's like a gray area as far as being mixed with the time of the Holy War against the Romans and the Ghassanids, but at the same time, people still apostatizing in certain places later on, just like this place, for instance, Dumat al-Jandel. But the weird thing is this. I'm not sure if this happened exactly in this exact time frame as the chapter explains, because after he left Dumat Jandel, he went to a place called Al-Qusam. And it was a dude named Mashja'a that he met there. But no fighting took place or nothing like that. They just basically, the people there agreed on the terms with Khalid-Ibn-Al-Walid. That's it. Now, this is where it gets weird for me personally, because when he left, he went back to Syria, to eastern Syria. And the place that he went to was Tamir. Now, I want to pause right there before I go through each and every last subsequent oasis or place that he had ventured into going through central and southern Syria, because I got a problem with the story matching the geography. Now, I'm like, okay, as far as Dumat Jandel, we're just going to say that for now. My voice is kind of chopped. He's starting from Iraq, all right? Now, he didn't go like fucking southwest. He went north, almost along the Euphrates River, because ayn-al-tamir is on the left. It's next to the Euphrates River, but more so on the left bank. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if it's like that close to it, but I know it's basically west of the Euphrates River, but going north though, past Al-Hira, Al-Kufa, and I think Samawa also. But as far as like what I mentioned earlier, Karkisia, that's 300 miles northwest of Tamir. So I'm like, okay, based on the geography, all right, he's in Tamir. He go to a few other places such as Sandab and Umayyah and Husayd and all these other places, right? Then he goes to eastern Syria. Now, he would have to go from eastern Syria south, because remember, Syria is basically north of Jordan, but also the Levant that they call Hashem back in the day. But you still got Lebanon, which is also, it's a part of the Levant, but it's like, it's kind of like a synagogue in West Africa. You know how you got like synagogue, and then you got Guinea-Bissau, not Guinea-Bissau, but Gambia, right there in southwestern synagogue, almost like basically a part of the fucking region, but it's a separate country today. That's kind of like how I look as far as Syria and Lebanon. So we got Lebanon, then you got Syria, then south of Syria, you got Jordan. South of Lebanon, you got the Levant. All right, Palestine as it used to be called. So for Khalid-Ibn-Al-Walid to make it to Karkisia first and then go south to what I think is Arabah, That means that shit just don't make no fucking sense. Like, why would he go south to Arabah, which is in the Levant, by the way? It's not in Jordan, but it's south of the Dead Sea. So he would have to go along that route and continue south all the way until he get to northwestern Arabia. Then once he gets to northwestern Arabia and he defeat the people to Dumat Jandel, then he's gonna go all the way back up north from that point, because after Al-Qusam, he made it into, like I say, Tamir. Tamir is not that fucking far from Karkisia. It's basically in the same fucking region almost. Well, yeah, it's in Syria, but as far as miles, I don't think it's even 300 miles southwest of Karkisia. It's not that far. So he's going to go all the way back north, right back into an area that he was at, venture west, and then hit Tamir later on after the fact. It's just something about that that's not really adding up. To make my point, to give my point a little bit more validity before I go on, I'm going to point out the date real quick. Okay. Now, after Tamir, I'm just going to go in order real quick. Okay. Tamir, he went there. He fought against the people there. They refused. All right. So they went and hid in their little fortresses and all of that. But they finally gave in, and Khalid-Ibn-Al-Walid promised them protection and whatnot. And they got to keep their religion because he said as long as they decide to be Zimmis. Now, I remember what the word Zimmi means. It's just basically